So I was probably in my first airplane just a couple months after I was born. It made it pretty easy when we lived right there on the runway. So I guess I was a baby that was in a good mood and the weather happened to be good. So my dad walked out the door of the house into the hangar, pulled the airplane out, and we went flying that evening.
I'm not exactly sure how old I was the first time I flew in an airplane, but I know I was very young. There's pictures of me when I was 2-3 months old sitting on my dad's lap in the front of the family airplane with him flying all over the country, so it started early. The Generations in Aviation collection, we call it, is my family's collection of vintage aircraft and modern aircraft. It's kind of my dad's homage to our family history in aviation. We've got all our old family relics and some of the dream planes that my grandfather always wanted to fly and my dad's dream planes that he always wanted to fly. It's just our goal to find them and restore them and keep them flying for as long as we can.
So my great-grandfather was a pilot and he had his fingers in every aspect of aviation. That in turn had my grandfather growing up at an airport, and then the rest of my family followed suit.
My family history does go way back in aviation. I'm a third-generation pilot. My grandfather started flying in World War II. He was a B-24 bomber pilot, so he passed aviation on to the rest of my family. Everybody in my family, and now myself, also flies.
Michael and I's families have known each other for a really long time. His dad flew with my grandfather, and my dad, they kind of ran in the same aviation circles. And we actually have baby pictures together, but we don't really remember that time or anything.
As soon as I graduated Stetson University, I had a job lined up in Alaska at one of the great fishing lodges up there, Bristol Bay Lodge. I spent a season with them immediately after college, and while I was there, I was able to interview and apply for the flying job in Alaska that I was there with Allie for several seasons. Both seasons with Allie, I was working at Talkeetna Air Taxi. We're a small bush plane operation that flies climbers and tourists in and out of the base camp area in the Alaska range. And then came home about 2 years ago, full-time, and went in with the family company again to work with my dad. Marco Ophthalmic, we are a manufacturer and a distributor and repair station for ophthalmic equipment. I've done a little bit of everything, and now I'm the sales manager for the state of Florida.
5 years ago, I did a little shadow and internship with a company called Daher Cicada. It was just a quick one at Sun and Fun, and I shadowed under their event and marketing coordinator. And it really showed me a whole new niche in aviation that I could fill. So I got my degree in marketing and communications, and I minored in graphic design, which led me to get some experience in the corporate world before moving on to starting my own aviation marketing business. When I'm not working, my life revolves around flying, friends, dogs, and fishing, and when all of those things can coincide, it's pretty much the best day ever. So if we can take the beaver with our friends and haul our dog along with us and go fishing on the lakes, then it's a great day.
The Lima Lima Flight Team is a civilian 4-ship or 6-ship formation aerobatic airshow routine. And they happen to be some of the instructors when I was learning to fly on the formation side of things. And about a year and a half ago, they asked me if I wanted to join and start flying the shows, and I said absolutely. For about a year, I was training with them every weekend, and now for this year's season, I'm full-time the #2 wingman in the Diamond formation.
I think one of the first steps for if you're interested in aviation is probably to go to the air shows or the local fly-ins. People are very encouraging in these small communities, and they will either give you their best advice for getting into aviation, or maybe they know of someone who's looking for a helper around the hangar.
The most important bit of advice in regards to aviation was some advice that was given to me at a very young age, and that was if you are ever presented with an opportunity, no matter where you are in your life, no matter what you're currently doing, don't hesitate to try and take advantage of that opportunity. If you get offered a chance to go ride in a warbird just because you're going to be late for dinner, don't let it stop you.